If we're to look over WWE over the last year or so, it's very easy to see that some things they get very, very right, but some things they get very, very wrong. Something that does keep smashing me in the face though over and over again is I find it baffling who WWE is choosing to be in the main event. So I am Simon from WhatCulture, and I think that WWE is choosing the wrong people to be in the main event. Why? Slaphead. Here's why. Now, as a wrestling fan, I'm all for wrestlers getting an opportunity, and that's why it is kind of cool that Jinder Mahal was given an opportunity. I bet given all the years and the time and the travel he put in since he became a wrestler, he's now over the moon. He's on cloud 9, and he gets in every day and he's like, holy crap, I'm WWE champion, and good for you, Jinder. I hope you're having the time of your life, like that Dirty Dancing movie. Get someone to pick you up and spin you around and go for a dance and be in the corner, whatever happens in that film. Given this is wrestling too, why wouldn't we do that? Because you can look at the field and go, well, wrestling is real, but it's not real. So even though that guy may be the best, maybe we'll choose this guy for a while and we'll make him the best just to see. Because you can do that. You can't do that in baseball. If you suck at baseball, you suck at baseball. However, the biggest problem in WWE at the moment is the way that the company treats people that should be in the main event. Now, I'm not saying that New Japan is perfect or that WWE should just do exactly what New Japan does. However, they do have a very good main event scene. If you watch any New Japan at the moment, you're going to see Okada in the main event, and guess what? He's also the champ. Why? Because he's the best wrestler in the company, and the same goes for someone like Kenny Omega. He's not only the US title holder, but he'll probably be the world champ at some point as well. And there's a reason for all of this. There's a connection. And it's because when you do get to the end of the night and you have your big main event match, it doesn't matter what's come before that, because you're utilizing the most talented guys in your company. They can probably go a step above what has already happened and put on the best match of the night, which means when the fans go home, they're feeling really happy, because it's always about the destination. The journey has to be good, but if the destination sucks, everybody thinks it sucked. So even if two other wrestlers have torn the house down, someone like Okada can go, well look, I'm well skilled, so I know what I have to do to make sure I go a step above that. Hence, the main event is worthy of being the main event. And this is very smart, all things considered. Not only does it make your promotion feel really exciting and really hot and really popular, because every time people do leave, as we just said, they feel like they've seen something special, but it means the last match always delivers. Take something like WrestleMania. Imagine every single WrestleMania main event was the greatest thing you ever saw, or at least you thought that at the time. I bet you if that was the case, everyone every year would go, WrestleMania was just incredible. It could have been the best show I saw of that year. Now let's turn to WWE properly. And if you are watching this in 2017 when this video is recorded, we do have Brock Lesnar and Samoa Joe in the Raw main event, and that's pretty good. They are two premier workers, and they'll be able to pull this off quite well. They're even going to headline SummerSlam, and that's wonderful, but let's not pretend that this is always the way, because it's not always the way, because we also had shows like Battleground, which was main evented by Jinder Mahal and Randy Orton. Now the problem here was who was below them. AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, Shinsuke Nakamura. Now on that night, admittedly they didn't live up to their full potential, but that's always going to happen, and it's missing the point. No one here is going to pretend they're not some of the best workers in the company, and yet they were in the mid-card. And if we go back to Raw, the same rings true, because Finn Balor is also in the mid-card, and Finn Balor could have a good match with a shoe. And the depressing thing with that is, WWE would probably put the shoe over. Now you can't just put all these guys at the top because that doesn't work. There has to be some breathing room, but I bet you my ass, if we at least put one person there, especially when it came to something like Battleground, that the whole show would have felt a lot better and ended with much more of a bang. And match quality isn't everything, of course, but if we turn back to Jinder Mahal, it's not like he's missed a promo. He's not coming out there week in, week out and cutting these amazing interviews and make us go, oh, I want to see that match. And also, there are both better wrestlers and promos on both brands. So why aren't those people in the main event? Because they can do it all. And yeah, I know India and social media and money, but forget all that. Good business will always come from having good matches, with good stories, with good wrestlers. That is mostly what people want to see. Think back to the likes of Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, or Bret Hart. Now we can argue till the cows come home about whether they were or weren't some of the best wrestlers ever or where they should be in a bid list, but every time they were in a main event of a show, they made the main event of the show feel damn credible. And no one here today is saying that about the Punjabi Prison match because it never stood a chance. It also just seems strange to have this kind of talent on your roster and dump them in the middle. Because if you do dump them in the middle, you're already hamstringing them. Because for one, they're not going to be able to operate at their best because you don't want to overshadow the main event. And the crowd's already seen these guys. So when they get to the main event and you got somebody like Jinder, not to rag on him, but that is the point, who people still see as a mid-carder, well, it's some weird game of tennis that doesn't work. Also, why are you even hiring these guys if you are just going to hold them back and say, don't do too much because we don't want you to? That doesn't make any sense. Now, there's every chance this actually wouldn't work, but usually having the best match last is what makes a promotion great. And we can look at stuff like WrestleMania 18, where the main event should have been Hulk Hogan versus The Rock, even though the better workers were Triple H and Chris Jericho, but there's always an exception to the rule, and that's that there. The problem was, of course, that they had killed the crowd, and the crowd were exhausted. And therefore, if that had been the last match, they would have gone home feeling happy, and I've said that now about 32 times. But if we fast forward to 2017, the wrestling world has changed, and what a lot of people do want is fast-paced, hard-hitting action that's a bit like, I don't know, a carnival or somersaults or whatever you want to call it, but also feels like a match. And if that's what they want, give it to them. It will make your product feel exciting, it will make your product feel real, and it will make your product feel like a sporting event. I know we're not meant to do that. I know having a sporting event in the world of entertainment is madness, but why don't you give it a go? Who knows? Maybe it will work. And again, I get it. We can't have 6 to 8 people in the main event. But as what we're doing at the moment isn't working, I'm sorry, Jinder, it's not working. Why don't we just at least make a little bit of a switch to see if the guys that are the best in the company can then do that week in, week out at the end of a show. Orton and Mahal may have actually been alright in the middle of the card for the US title or something, all gimmickry and weird, and then you could have moved Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles to the main event for the Universal title, no, that's Raw, for the WWE title, and I think that would have been a better show. To the point now I'm stumbling all over my words and I've lost the plot, I've lost my pacing, it's over. I'm so mad it's the end, I'm gonna go run and get all this energy out. I don't run. No one runs, I'm gonna lift. Again, it's all about giving the audience what they want, and if we're looking at ratings or interest or any of those analytics, I think that's what they want. They want to have the best match at the end of the show. Much like if you get to an FA Cup final, you want to see the 2 best teams come at it. You don't want to see a boring 1-0 victory to Manchester United, and that is a shot of Manchester United last year. Ha! It doesn't even matter if you can't cut a badass interview, because look what happened when WWE did announce John Cena versus Nakamura for SmackDown. There's not even a story there, but everyone looks at John Cena and go, he's a big deal. Then they look at Nakamura and go, he's a big deal. And everybody straight away thinks that it's a big deal. Some people even said, that shouldn't be on TV. That's so special, it should be on a pay-per-view. And this isn't the be-all and end-all, because look at someone like Braun Strowman. He's not the best wrestler in the world, but he is damn entertaining, and he does deserve to be hanging around there as well. But again, that's why pro wrestling is beautiful. There's not always one direction, but when we're ignoring another direction that seems so obvious, then we should talk about it as we're doing here. If nothing else, it doesn't really seem like we're trying this at the moment. So let's try it. Let's put pay-per-views like Battleground to bed. And I know I gave it more ups and downs, or it was close or whatever on ups and downs, but that's not the point. That's taking it segment by segment and going, oh, that was kind of good, but that was kind of crap. Overall, it was a bad show. And I really do believe a little shuffle of the card, even with the Punjabi Prison, and it wouldn't have been as bad. Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you think about all of this. Like, share, and subscribe. Go and follow WhatCulture on Twitter at WhatCulture WWE. Head on over to WhatCulture.com, read some articles, and smile. I am Simon from WhatCulture. This was the Y Series. A salute, goodbye.